Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. As I posted in a community post, I'm getting closer and closer to getting the new landing gear on the plane. Today is Friday. Hopefully all the stuff is bolted on the plane tomorrow, weather permitting and material permitting. Today's goal was to get the shock mounts cut out, drilled out, and ready to go on the gear legs. Those won't be bolted on until the gear legs are on the plane. And the reason is I want to be able to set my angle so my tires in the corner over there will sit perfectly perpendicular. Well, not quite perfectly, maybe a little bit of a camber. They'll sit a little bit at a camber, so when I get in it and it's full of fuel and weighted down, then it'll be where I want it to. So I'll be able to determine all those angles and stuff once the gear legs hanging on the door right there. Boom! Once those are on the plane, bolted on, ready to go, and those gussets are already in that cool little Royal Canadian Air Force little bag that we got at the museum. So those are all ready to go. I got the shocks here, holes drilled out the right size. Currently, the holes that will be mounting the shock mounts to the gear legs are 1/4 inch. I don't think I need to go bigger than that. If I do, I can always drill them out with handy dandy little Mastercraft thing, drill press, that's the word. So I've got those all drilled out and cut out and sanded down. Depth perception. Okay, so I got 2 pairs. Each one of them were stacked on the other when drilling. So I've got a right set and a left set. So that'll go on the right gear or left gear. It doesn't really matter as long as there's a pair. So I've got R and R. So they go together because they were drilled together, just to make sure all the holes line up. I've done that before where I actually with where are you? I just decided to start drilling holes and didn't measure. Well, I measured, but I didn't stack them on each other. So each one of them was a little bit off. And so but other than that, that wasn't the button I wanted. Jeez. Other than that, things are progressing nicely. Actually, I could have just do. By the way, if anybody needs a set of Steelies, 16 by what, 7s, for a Chevy Silverado, mine was a 2003. I've had these for close to 6 years, just sitting in my crawl space at my other place, and then in my shop here. They're taking up space. If you want them, come and get them. Let's say $100 for the set. I don't care. There's 4 of them, and they're all good. They've all got the end caps and everything. So, anywho, there is my new fuel tank. 5 Gallaroonies. Nice. Look how big that cap is. This top piece also comes out. I don't know if I'll ever need to use that. It's got a vent as well. These were all marked beforehand. It's just a reference point. It's not exactly accurate, but it'll be accurate enough for what I need it to do. So 5 gallons plus a little bit. And then I'll be able to see, and then liters on this side, because I'm in Canada. Just kidding. Canada. And things are weird here. But yeah, gallons on the right. I just took my Sharpie and just colored over the knobs that were already there, and just so I can see them better. And to make it easier to see, on the strut I might mount like a little mountain bike or just a bike rear view mirror. I have limited range of motion to my left side, so, or even to my right. So if I have a mirror or something, I'll be able to see how much gas I got left, especially because the gas in there is going to be bluish, purplish, or red, depending on whatever 2-stroke oil I decide to use. But yeah, as for here in the shop, I've got the cable mounts. What do we call them? They're not anti-drag. That's in the wings. I don't know, anti-drag cables. When I land, the friction is going to want to pull the landing gear back. So I'm going to use cables to stop that from happening. And then, yeah, so I got those brackets to make up. And so it will actually just, I'll move this here. on this hole here is where that bracket will come off and angle, or whatever this ends up being. Actually, this one. And it's going to angle this way towards the front. And then the tube right there for the nose gear, there'll be another hole with the same size or same type of bracket that the cable will attach to. And those cables, I don't know if it's in here. I'm so disorganized, guys. And oh yeah, right here. So I got these turnbuckles, and so with these might be a little bit too big, but if they are too, whatever, I can go get another ones. But with these, I can determine the tension, and I can adjust, and then tighten it down, give more tension or less tension, kind of like doing an alignment on my landing gear while it's in place. But yeah, everything's going, like I said, quite nicely. I still have yet to weld on a bracket for the brake caliper, but I don't need to do that quite yet. They actually just put power in permanently at the hangar. I still have no lights, but that is in the future, I think. And you might get to see us tomorrow. You might get to see my friend and I move the beaten and battered Cessna 150G to its new home. It's not flying. It's just going to move onto the pad. It's been sitting kind of backwards. There's no door that accesses it. The last time it flew, as far as the logbook says, was 93. The engine still turns. It's an O200, and it still has compression. So we're hopeful that it doesn't need a whole lot of work, because I believe my friend is going to try and buy it. I think the agreement was, as long as he does all the maintenance on it and pays for all the maintenance on it, then that is his purchase price. Which, that's a heck of a deal if you ask me. But also, if he has to rebuild an engine, well, there's, what, 20 grand for an O200? You could probably find a used O200 cheaper than that. But either way, we'll figure out something, or he'll figure out something to do with it. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to help them move it, because I have hit my head so many times on that stupid trailing edge of that Cessna 150, and any of you have done the same thing. You know how much it hurts. So I want it out of my space. But either way, we'll get it moved. Hopefully, if we have to, I think we're gonna have to remove the wings, but I think they're just, the bolts are through. I think that's how they got it in there. Is removed the wings, put it there, put the wings on. Linkages aren't connected or anything, so we'll do what we have to do. But yeah. So shock mounts cut out. I have probably enough scrap metal here and scrap pieces. I can make the cable brackets from. It's just today's mess. So either one of those longer pieces there, I could probably just cut up and use those. But we'll get it done, and we'll get a nice holy do drilled out. And yeah, I had to replace my vise. Guess why? I was testing a weld. Actually, a weld that I already tested, but I was bragging to my brother and about this one here. So clamped it in the vise, and it broke. Not this, the vise. The vise broke. Which I think that's a testament to how okay those welds are. So I feel better about myself. But I do have another vise. It's a much bigger vise on order, and it's actually in this area once it's cleared out, and these two cabinets are going to space out, and then a nice counter that's out in my driveway is going to sit on it. But other than that, we're good to go there, and then that's where the vise will go. Just it'll be a little bit more room, so kind of have like an island type deal here. Holy cow, it's hot in here. Yeah, beautiful weather outside. You can probably see I'm a little bit shiny on the forehead there. Is my hairline receding? But like overnight, we got green grass. The trees are leaving. Goodness gracious, I gotta clean those windows. And we got strawberries in the garden, like tulips growing. You know what? Why don't I just show you? I know you come to see the plane, but hey, this is a life vlog, I guess. Got some beautiful flowers growing. Still got some nice rhubarb in there, but check out those. Tulips there, and then I've got tulips there. Gotta be careful not to step on any doggy bombs. Look how pretty those are. Nice. And then apple tree, which is leafing nicely. And then the poplar is leaving nicely. That stinking tree lays a lot of leaves on this yard, but it is what it is. You do what you got to do. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here for a little bit anyway. Fire up the Traeger, get some burgers going. Ah, yummy. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.